My name is Sarah O. I'm the digital content producer here at University of the People, and I have the very special pleasure of introducing our university president, Shai Reshef. I'm going to go ahead and let him take it away.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for joining this very important call. As I'm sure you all know, today is the beginning of the first day of academic year 2025, which is quite a significant milestone in our history as an organization. We're starting our 16th year of teaching students. We are, as you know, serving students from 200 countries, from every corner of the world. We are continuing to grow. We're continuing to give opportunity for students who want to get this great opportunity. And we are very proud of our students, and I'm very happy for you to be here. And I can't wait to answer any question that you have. And
Yes.
hopefully I'll be able to answer them.
Yes. Yes, of course. So we do have a few questions picked out from our lovely student ambassadors, and shout out to anyone who is a student ambassador that's here on this call today. We truly appreciate all the hard work that you do to spread the mission of our university to your friends, your families, and your communities around the world. So we'll start off with this first question from Esteban. They asked, what inspired you to establish the University of the People, and how has the university evolved since its inception?
So I was in education, in for-profit education for many years. And among other things, I started the first online university in Europe through partnership with the University of the People. In partnership with the University of Liverpool. And that's where I realized how powerful online learning can be, but at the same time, how expensive it is and how most people cannot afford it. I ended up selling that for-profit university and the rest of my business. And then I realized that I want to continue doing it. And I thought that it's my turn to give back to the world. And I looked around and I saw that everything that made this European university so expensive is available for free. Open source technology, open educational resources, and a new phenomena where professors were willing to help students and teach them for free. And they said, well, let's put it all together and create a tuition-free university. So I did. So I announced the University of the People. It was in January 2009. We started enrolling students in April 2009, and we started teaching in September 2009 with 178 students.
Wow.
And since then, we started growing dramatically. In 2014, we received our initial accreditation. And since then, we had an exponential growth. We were last year with 137,000 students. This year we start with even more students.
Right.
So we are very happy to grow and to serve students from all over the world, including refugees who are coming from many countries, including Afghan women, but mainly for people who want to have a better future at a reasonable price. And that's exactly what we're doing, giving
Yes.
opportunity to people.
Yes. And, I know many students have been touched by the beautiful mission that you've accomplished through the university and making sure that they have that accessible, affordable education around the world. So I'm sure many of the students, I saw a few Afghan women in the chat saying that, they're happy to be students of this university. So we're so happy that you were able to, have this goal, have this dream, and have it come to fruition, 15 years later. And our next question is from Amaru. They asked, dear our great president of UoPeople, please can you tell me what encouraged you to help others achieve their goals?
Well, I think that I mentioned it briefly in my answer to the first question, but I think that, being in education, I realized how powerful education can be. Because when you think about it, when you educate one person, you change a life. But when you educate many, you can change the world. and they looked around and they saw how many people deserve higher education and cannot attend higher, either because they cannot afford it, or because they live in countries where there aren't enough universities, or maybe because they are deprived for political reasons. And refugees will be great example for that. Or maybe they are living in a country that culturally they are deprived from higher education. You know, mentioning women in Afghanistan will be only one example.
Right.
Or maybe simply because they live in remote areas and the university is not nearby and they can't leave their families, or for any other personal reasons. And for all these people, there is the internet. UNESCO argued that in 2025, this is coming very soon, there will be 100 million students who do not have seats in the existing universities. Well,
Wow.
is there a better reason for the invention of the internet than offering education to everyone? So that's basically was the motivation. Let's take the internet and use it to bring education for all the people who deserve higher education, but cannot do it for any reason. And wow, just think about the world we are going to have if every single person will have the opportunity for higher education. We will have a much better world. And that's what
Yes.
we hope to do.
Yes, and that's an amazing message, and I hope the students can resonate with that as well, because, the internet is a powerful tool, and being able to use that to educate people is an even greater mission. And our next question is from Deborah. She asks, how do you respond to the many reviews online that say University of the People is providing fake degrees? As a DEAC accredited university, how can this be possible?
Well, first of all, you know, these days, and fake news are going very far. And
Yes.
what can we do? People can say
Right.
whatever. People can say that I don't exist. You know, it just reminded me that one of one of my colleagues went to Ethiopia, actually. Maybe there are people on the call. And she met our students there. And one of them came with with his mother, and she said, you know, I don't believe that the university is really there. So they put me online to see that I really exist. So you all see that I exist. Okay. But beyond that, uh, we received our initial accreditation in 2014 from the DAC. Since then, we had two rounds of accreditation of the DAC, and as you might know, we achieved candidacy with additional accreditation, which is WASC, the Western Accreditation Agency. So we are accredited by a legitimate accreditation agency, which is part of the American Department, the Department of Education. You can check the Department of Education and see that we are there. But you know, it goes beyond that. I mean, if you look at the universities that partner with us, whether it is Harvard the Business School Online, whether it is NYU, Edinburgh, McGill, and others, if you look at the presidents that are on our President's Council, presidents of NYU and Columbia and Berkeley and George Washington University.
Yeah.
Well, I can go on and on and on. You will see that we are real. So we wouldn't be able to be here if we were not legitimate. Our graduates find jobs in amazing places such as Google, Amazon, IBM, and many others. Again, if we were fake, probably it wouldn't have been there. But come on, if people want to say that we fake, okay, you can
Right.
say whatever we are. We know that we are not.
Exactly. We know we're not. We have the accreditation. We've been DEAC accredited for a decade as of this year. So, that speaks for itself, regardless of whatever fake news might circulate on the interwebs. So
Look, I think that what stands behind it is that, you know, we are tuition free.
yeah.
All we ask our students is to pay for end of course assessment, which is $140 per bachelor level courses. So a full BA will cost $5,600.
Right.
Too many, and that's American degree, an
Right.
American accredited degree. Too many people feel like it's too good to be true. No way that they can make it, and therefore probably we are fake. Well, we are not fake, and this is our prices, and we are very proud that we make higher education accessible, affordable, with the right quality.
Absolutely. And I know our students are students who go on to work for IBM, NASA, Amazon, Google, all these major corporations are using those accredited degrees to continue their careers or start new careers. So, the degree speaks for itself, regardless of what, news might be online that isn't true. So thank you for answering that great question. And Abby Gaba said, what initiatives are in place to support students' career development and job placement after graduation?
This is an excellent question because when when we started the university, it was all about opening the gates of higher education to those who cannot attend otherwise. Moving on, we said this is not enough. We have to make sure that the quality is there. Because if you graduate from an institution with a bad quality, you didn't do anything good. It's not that we want to help our students to have a better future. So the quality should be there. But then we said, wait a second, let's not stop there. Let's help our students find a job. So the first thing to be said is that our degrees are practical. All the degrees that we teach, all the programs that we have are relevant for the job market. Business administration, computer science, and health science associated and bachelor degree, as well as master in education, master in IT, and MBA. So it's degrees that are in high demand in the workplace, and therefore our students are likely to find a job. In addition to that, we develop a career service center where we teach our students all the things that you need to know in order to succeed in finding a job, whether it is how to open a LinkedIn page, how to prepare for an interview, how to write your CV, etc. But also, recently, we have signed an agreement with Virtual Internship to enable any one of our students who wish to do so to get an internship, virtual internship, that will give our students actually a practical experience when they approach the job market. So between all this, and in addition, including our certificates that we now offer students and developing more, which are courses that are very relevant for the job market, for specific jobs that students can take either as part of their education with us or independently. We are doing a very good job in preparing our students to the job market. And I mentioned it before, the fact that we have graduates work with Microsoft and Amazon and IBM and the World Bank and JP Morgan, well, that means that probably we're doing a good job.
Yes, definitely doing a good job with all those amazing companies, and more that you mentioned. And another question from this student, can you share any success stories of UoPeople alumni that particularly stand out to you? I know we recently had our gala and there were a lot of great alumni that shared their stories there. So did any of those stories stick out to you?
Wow. We have over 100,000 success stories, so how can you choose?
Right.
But we have amazing stories, and I have to tell you that a lot of the students, most of the students, keep in touch with us and tell us about their success, and I'm really humble to learn about what many of our students have gone through and how far they got. And I'll give you one example of Sarah, who was actually, as you mentioned, on our gala a couple of months ago. We had a gala in New York to raise scholarship for our students. And Sarah came on stage and said that she was homeless at the age of 14. At the age of 16, she was still homeless with a child. Single mom with a child, homeless. At the age of 18, she had 2 kids, still homeless, still a single mom. She figured out that she can't survive unless she get education. So she decided to go and get her BA. She went to an online university, which she did end with a BA, however, not with us, but she couldn't find a job, and she ended up with tens of thousands of dollars debt.
Yeah.
She didn't know what to do. She was really depressed. She couldn't find a job, and she said, well, my only way to break through is to continue my education and get MBA. And she came to us and got her MBA with us. And then she came on stage and said, look at me now. I have my own house. I have my own pool. I have a vintage car. I'm the American dream.
Yeah.
And look where I started and where I am right now. And it's all because of you people. And I sat there and I looked at her and I said, well, you know, you are the reason we started University of the People. And I can't but wish to help everyone to get as far or even further. And that's exactly what we are and what we are aiming to do.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful story. You know, Sarah has come so far from where she was originally to where she is now. And it's beautiful that UoPeople was able to help her in her journey to achieving that American dream and, you know, providing more for herself and for her children. So that's a wonderful story. And I hope that that resonated with each of you in the chat. And then our next question is from another student. Are there any partnerships or collaborations that UoPeople is involved in, either with other educational institutions or organizations?
Sure. So I will talk about our academic partnership. So we have a few academic partners. Each one of them help our best students to move up the ladder.
Yeah.
The first one is NYU, which is our oldest, where our students, after a year with us, can apply to transfer to NYU Abu Dhabi. And because of generosity of NYU Abu Dhabi, they get generous scholarship. Obviously, they don't commit to that, but all of our students, when we send there, got generous scholarship, which enabled them to move there, and we are very proud of it. We have an agreement with McGill, the Canadian university, that is open mainly for refugees, but not only, where students after 2 years with us can apply to McGill and transfer to complete their degree on campus. We have an agreement with Edinburgh, where our students, mainly health science in this case, can apply to continue their education there. And we also have a collaboration with a Harvard Business School online, which has been changed recently, but still our students can apply to Harvard Business School online, take courses there, 3 courses, get a Harvard certificate, and then come back to us where we recognize their credit, the credit that they earn from Harvard, and they also get a certificate which will be very relevant for the job market.
Yeah, and that's awesome. You know, I think a lot of students are always curious. I know we have those partnerships, those collaborations. So it's good to know that those are still in effect and it's something that our students can benefit from. And then another question from the student named Hamza. What advice would you give to current UoPeople students to make the most out of their educational experience and prepare for their future careers?
That's simple, study hard. So,
Yes.
so I think that we're doing great job. We have great courses. We have dedicated faculty, deans, chairs, faculty. All of them are there to help our students. We have program advisors. If you are new, maybe you still don't know, but you have a program advisor that is going to be with you from today, if that's your first day at University of the People, until you graduate. All these people are there to help you to achieve your dream. And we are there to achieve your dream. If you came to us and you are now on this call, it means that you want to educate yourself, you want to have a better future, and you want to open your prospects for success. We will give you the tools for that. But I think that it is important to understand, and especially if you are a new student, that studying with us is not easy. Studying online is hard. You need to have self-motivation. You need to have discipline. You will never be in a situation where you go to a class, look at a professor, and fall asleep, assuming that your peer will cover for you. If you study with us, you need to go online every day or almost every day and work for hours. Every course that you take is 20 to 30 hours a week. It's a lot of work. But when you invest the time, you get a lot out of it. You learn amazing topics. You meet amazing people. Think about it. Every time you take a class, and if you're studying for BA, it's 40 courses. Associate degree is 20 courses. A master level, less courses, but still quite a few. Every time you take a course, you will meet 20 to 30 students from 20 to 30 different countries. This is amazing network. And these are amazing people. You will find in our class people that you will never see anywhere else because, it's all over the world. Our class is our world. So you have a great opportunity to meet people. You have a great opportunity to learn different cultures and to make friends from all over the world and to learn amazing topics. Take the opportunity, grab it hard, and make out of it the most you can. One very important thing. As I said, it is hard and it's going to be hard. All of us encounter difficulties along our lives. You will encounter difficulties while studying with UoPeople. My advice to you, don't give up. If you don't give up, eventually I'll get an email from you, as I do for many of our graduates. Thank you for this advice. I was about to drop out and decided not to, and I'm so grateful. Remember, we have an opportunity that probably no one else will give you. Grab it, hold it tight, and make the most out of it. You will thank us for that.
Absolutely. Staying the course and staying dedicated to, just remembering the dream that you had when you decided to start with University of People and not giving up despite any obstacles you might face is definitely something I think everyone can take away from that message. And another question, and apologies if I butchered the student's name, from Ahim Boy. They asked, what are the most significant obstacles you have encountered and how have you overcome them?
Me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have to admit that since starting, I founded University of the People over 15 years ago, by
Yeah,
now 16 years ago.
right.
No, well, 15 and a half. I work harder than I ever worked in my life, in terms of hours, in terms of the amount of time that I spend. That's the only thing I do in my life.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I've never had as much fun as I'm having right now. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do that. I still remember, this was 15 years ago, September 2009, the first day of University of the People teaching students. And I was in Mexico on that day in a conference. And I'm going to Facebook, University of the People Facebook, and I see students saying, I'm a Kenyan student today, feel like a rich American student going to university. And I felt like, wow, you are the very person I started the university for.
Right.
So there are so many people that came to us and we literally saved their life that I'm extremely happy and no difficulty will stop me from doing it. I think that the challenge, I announced the university and I think that the world wanted us to succeed because I announced the university in January 2009. The next day, the New York Times wrote a page about it.
Wow.
The next day, I already had hundreds of emails from professors who said, we want to help you make this dream come true. And
Wow.
all these people help us build the university. Now, was it easy? Well, not necessarily, but it was fun. I think that if you ask me about the two main challenges that we have, and that's true from day one until now, is first, how do you spread the word?
Yeah.
We have by now well over 100,000 students. However, I mentioned earlier that there are 100 million students who need our services. Most of them do not know about us.
Yeah.
I walk on the street or come to any social gathering and say that I'm from University of the People, if it's not people who knew me from before, they've never heard about UoPeople. So
Right.
we are a well-kept secret. And this is a shame because the people who need us most of them do not know about us. Yes, I mentioned the New York Times. We had a few articles on the New York Times, but well, if most of the people in the world do not read the New York Times every day, let's put it this way. So
Right.
they miss, and they miss to know that we are there for them. So this is one big obstacle. How do you spread the word? How do you make more people know about us? And I have to admit that you, the students, our main way to spread the word, because when our students, you, go to their social network and tell about us, that's the best way for us to spread the knowledge, and moreover to tell our students how good we are, because you tell them about your experience and we don't ask anyone to lie, just tell us what you've gone through.
Right.
But this is the best way, and I have to admit that I'm so thankful to our students for doing it, because it's so important for us to let everyone knows that we are there for them. The second challenge that we have that goes with it is not having enough scholarships, because the more we grow, the more people ask us for scholarship because they can't afford even our minimal fees, assessment fees that we ask. We're trying to do our best. We're trying to accommodate more. We tell the students or the people who approach us or applicants when we cannot accommodate them, wait, stay with us. Hopefully one day we will be able to accommodate you. We obviously give a lot of scholarship because of generous donors that we have, because of our students and mainly graduates who pay forward to additional students. So we're starting a movement that our students and alumni who can afford, students who can afford and alumni who get job, give small portion of their salaries to our students who need scholarship. But again, this is a main challenge, and I have to admit that it breaks my heart when I'm getting emails from students who say, listen, I can't do it without you, and you didn't have scholarship. What do you suggest that I'm doing? And I have no suggestion because we don't have the money besides wait, hopefully one day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's, those are all great points that you made. And I hope that everyone, continue putting your questions in the Q&A section, because we'll have a brief moment to go over, one or two questions before ending the whole one. But this is the last question from our student ambassador named Brian. They asked, what are your long-term goals for University of the People, and how do you envision the university evolving over the next decade?
Okay, so I'll tell you a story.
Yes.
In 2010, following the earthquake in Haiti, at the Clinton Global Initiative, I announced that we are going to take 250 students from Haiti and teach them for free. It took me a day to realize that following the earthquake, people in Haiti don't have internet and don't have houses to live in.
Right.
So we had to go there and build centers and connect them through the internet, etc. But when we started teaching there, the first cohort, I came there to welcome the students.
Oh,
And while doing that, I met applicants. And when I met the applicants, they asked me questions and I answered, and someone videoed this session. And then when I came back to New York, I listened to it. And I found one of the applicants asking me, what are you planning for the future? And this is a similar question. And my
yeah,
answer there was, we are planning to continue growing and growing and growing until one day I'll wake up in the morning and see that the entire world is being served and there is nothing else for us to do. So I'll go back to sleep and probably will wake up with another dream. So,
right.
well, it's, kind of. I think that it is, look, University of the People is here to serve people who need the opportunity for higher education and do not have it otherwise. But we also, and this is as important or maybe even more important, building a model for other universities and other institutions and governments to show them that higher education can be accessible and affordable to all with the right quality. This is a model what we're doing, and we want others to look at our model and say, wow, we can do it ourselves. Because, I mentioned that there are 100 million people in the world who need our services. We cannot serve 100 million. We are not planning to serve 100 million.
Right.
But I want this 100 million to be served, and our model show that it can be done.
Yeah.
Look at Africa. Every single country in Africa, there is a shortage of seats in the existing universities. In Nigeria, for example, there are 10 million and a half students
Wow.
graduating high school every year. Out of them, 1.5 million pass the university entrance exam, which means they're qualified for higher education, but there are seats available for 500,000. So by definition, 1 million will be deprived every year from higher education. We build a model to show that all of them can be accommodated. So we hope that that's what we will give the world, a model that they will replicate. And I believe that if we do that, we have done our job.
Absolutely. And I think that was a great question, to end it off from the student ambassadors and continuing that mission, continuing our model to get higher education to everyone around the world. I'm going to pick a few questions for,
Okay.
you to answer, Shai. This one is from Analegwe. They said, "Hi, President Shai Reshef. What progress has been made by UoPeople towards regional accreditation by WASC?" I know a lot of students are always asking about regional accreditation. We are
Good
accredited by the
question.
DEAC. So I think that's a great question to answer next.
So we are working on our accreditation with the DAC. Sorry, with WASC. We are
Right.
accredited by the DAC, but because a lot of students ask us for a regional accreditation, we decided to pursue regional accreditation as well. We had 2 sites visits. We are going to have in actually slightly more than 2 months from now, in November, we are going to have the 3rd site visit. I hope that that will be the last site visit. I cannot
Yes.
guarantee. We've done a lot. There are, the accreditation process is that you submit everything, how you meet their standards. They have standards for accreditation. So how you meet their standards, they come to you and give you comments. You need to improve that, you need to change that. So we have done that the first time, then we achieved candidacy. The second time, they said, great with the candidacy, but we still want you to improve 1, 2, 3. And we are doing it, and we hope that this time will be the final.
Yes.
But again, it is important to notice we are accredited by the DAC. Legally, there is no difference between the DAC and WASC. They are both have the same level of accreditation by the Department of Education. But since that's what our students want, we are there for our students. So we're working on it.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that's great to point out, that we're continuing. We are a candidate even for accreditation by WASC, so we're moving in the right direction. Hopefully, 3rd time's the charm, and we can say that we're accredited by them in the near future. And a few people asked, how can their degree or certificates be redeemed? I'm assuming this means, are they going to get their degree or certificates in the mail, or is this something that is purely online for students?
Okay, so we never meet our students.
Right.
Well, sometimes I do happen to
Right.
meet some students, but we technically we don't meet our students ever. Our graduation ceremony is virtual, and when you look at our graduation ceremony, and if you are a graduate, you will see a draft graduation document, a diploma. We send a diploma by mail. That's the only thing ever that we send physical copy. Yeah, and you can get it by mail, and send your mailing address, and we send it by mail.
Yeah. And I think
And
that's a
by the
question.
way, You can look at Facebook and a lot of other, and you can see our students holding the
Holding it
diploma
up.
that they received by mail and taking a picture of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I know a lot of people are curious of that. And just for new students who like today might be your first day ever attending university, you will receive a physical degree, a physical diploma once you finish at the university. So that is the only physical piece of, documentation that you'll receive. Everything else will be online. And just one last question, and I think this is a good question to end out for new students. I know something similar to what you answered before, but to become, this is from Neil F. They said, to become a successful UoPeople student, what are the best practices that you would recommend to new students?
Well, I think that I mentioned it, you're right, and it's a good question. I think that study as hard as you can. This is one thing. Second, as I said, don't give up.
Right.
Don't ever give up. I'm telling you, you are going to encounter difficulties. Don't give up. Stick with it. You will be grateful.
Yes.
Third, I think that I would recommend the students to read the catalog. It sounds trivial, but we have a catalog. Everything is there. And we keep getting emails and questions. Why did you do that? Why do you say that? Everything is in the catalog. So if you want to learn about how we operate, what you need to do, what you need to know, what issues are there, it's all there. But I'm saying if you have any question whatsoever, go to your program advisors. You have our faculty, our instructors that will be there for your courses, but any other question, don't hesitate asking our your program advisors. That's their job to help you.
Right.
So feel free to ask them. And I can't but hope that in a few years, I'll meet all of you as our graduates.
Mm.
And yeah, and
Yeah. And, thank you for giving those great pieces of advice. And, just to reiterate what Shai said, ask for help. We don't expect you to have all the answers, especially if you're a new student. You have your program advisor, you have the catalog that you can search through, you have your peers. UoPeople is an international community of learners and students. So don't think that, you're going to be made fun of for asking a question. Your program advisors know that they're here to help you. And, Shai obviously wants you to succeed and stay at the university to earn your degree and have your diploma in hand. So just know things will get hard, but you will make it through. So don't forget that. And yeah, if you guys do have any other questions, we do have University of the People social media pages. You can follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Students share information, via WhatsApp. But if you want to keep up to date with all the great university news, what Shai is up to, definitely check out UoPeople.official or just at UoPeople across any social media channels. And you'll find us so that you can stay up to date with all the great things happening at the university. So, thank you again, Shai, for answering all of those great questions. And thank you to all the students. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up this great interview for today?
Yeah, I would like to thank everyone who's on the call first for choosing UoPeople as their place for higher education and for attending this webinar. Thank you so much for attending. I much appreciate and wish you only success. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great start to your new year.